Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Son killed, dad injured in Bob Marley Beach attack. A man was shot and killed, and his father injured at Bob Marley Beach in 9 Miles Bull Bay, St. Thomas, Sunday afternoon. Police have identified the dead man as David Harris, otherwise Kolpenko, a 21-year-old fisherman from 9 Miles. Harris also doubles as a fruit vendor on the beach. Police reported that about 4 p.m., both men were with a group of people along the beach side. A man dressed in khaki attire walked up and ordered something from Harris, who operates a fruit stall on the beach. The police said the man immediately brandished a firearm and opened fire, hitting the now deceased multiple times. Harris' father, who was nearby, was also shot and injured during the incident. A unit from the Kingston Eastern Police Division rushed both men to hospital, where Harris was pronounced dead and his father was admitted for treatment. The police say no motive has been established for the attack. St. Andrew man hospitalized following fight charged. A man hospitalized following a fight with another has been charged by the police. The police report that 34-year-old Ryan Richards, a former of Red Light District in Iriston, St. Angelo, and another man had a dispute that escalated into a physical confrontation. Reports from the Iriston police are that on Friday, July 1, 2 men got into a fight in the town square. One of them reportedly used an object to hit the other, who in turn retaliated and chopped his attacker with a machete. The police intervened and the men were taken to hospital, where the chopped victim was admitted under police guard. The other man was treated. The police say during the investigation that followed, it was revealed that Richards had earlier been warned by the police after it was reported that he threatened the other man with a firearm. He was subsequently charged with assault at common law, unlawful wounding, and illegal possession of firearm. His court date is being arranged. The police say investigators continue to probe the case as they explore the possibility of charging the other man. St. Andrew Bureau charged with shooting of child's mother, man at house. A man accused of shooting the mother of his child and a man at a house on Red Hills Road in St. Andrew has been charged. 36-year-old Roger Allen, a bearer of Red Hills Boulevard in the parish, has been charged with wounding with intent and illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. The charges are in relation to allegations that on Wednesday, March 23rd, Allen went to a house where the mother of his child resided with another man and opened gunfire at them. Both received gunshot injuries and were treated at hospital. Allen fled the scene and was on the run until he was captured in Linstead, St. Catherine on Thursday, June 23rd. He was subsequently charged after being interviewed in the presence of his attorneys. Goodbye, Janelle. Family and friends of 12-year-old Janelle Waters, who drowned in floodwaters in April, bid her farewell on Sunday during a touching funeral service at King Seventh-day Adventist Church in Montego Bay. Among those who mourned were her grandfather Beres and Aunt Shannon, who were rescued from the family car during the tragic incident that claimed the young girl's life. The service was also attended by students from Montego Bay High School for Girls, where Janelle had just entered the 7th grade. On Sunday, Janelle was remembered fondly by those who knew her. She was loving, bright, and had dreams of becoming a doctor, they said. Pastor Jonathan Mary offered solace to the family, telling them to look to the Lord. I pray that the Father will bring comfort and cure during this time. I pray that you will find peace of mind with God. Christine Nicholas, be strong and of good courage, trust in the Lord, he urged the child's parents before offering the same advice to other relatives. Among those paying tribute to Janelle was opposition leader Mark Golding, whose prepared remarks were read by Senator Janice Allen. To her parents, Christine and Nicholas, may God give you the strength to continue to be there for each other as well as for Janelle's siblings. I know that no amount of words can express the pain that you are feeling right now. I pray for your peace, comfort, and courage during this most difficult time of sorrow, stated Golden. There was an outpouring of support for the family in the days after the tragedy. After her daughter's funeral service on Sunday, Christine Gilbert expressed gratitude to all who have provided support to the family in their time of need. I'm really happy and grateful for all the support that we've been getting. I have a lot of people to thank, and maybe I'll take out and add to highlight some of the persons she managed to say despite being overwhelmed with grief. On April 19, little Janelle was swept away out of the family car in the Barnett River near Westgate. Her body was recovered that evening about a mile and a half away. Her 68-year-old grandmother Beryl was also swept away by floodwaters. Her body has never been found, despite weeks of searching. As they said goodbye to Janelle on Sunday, the family knew that there was even more pain ahead on Wednesday when there will be a memorial service for Beryl Walters at Mount Salem Seventh-day Adventist Church in Cornwall Gardens. Renewed call for gated community legislation. There is a renewed call for the government to move with urgency to establish legislation to govern gated communities, and some residents say the absence continues to cause headaches for property owners. Several promises by the government over the years to address the issue have gone unfulfilled. Speaking on the matter in September 2017, Prime Minister Angelo promised that the government was moving ahead to protect property values in gated communities. We are developing the gated communities legislation, which will be similar to the Act governing strata corporations, said Holness, while he addressed owners in the Berkshire Court housing development in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. At the time, he indicated that the law would empower corporations to enforce payment of maintenance fees and prevent persons from doing things that were not in accordance with the purchase agreement, among other things. The lack of movement on the issue has left many owners in gated communities despondent. Among them is Martin Brown, a pensioner who has been living in a gated community for 7 years. Brown says he wants to see the law passed speedily so that the executive body in his community can have the power to go to court for homeowners who commit breaches of the restrictive covenant, non-payment of maintenance fees, and those who engage in activities that run contrary to the rules. Some homeowners even use the properties for commercial purposes, such as Airbnbs and bars, which cause great discomfort to other residents, complained Brown. Whether there should be the passage of legislation governing the management of the gated communities is impatient of debate, stated Queen's Counsel Peter. The fact is that there has been a proliferation of such communities within the corporate era and beyond which, by their nature, are not governed by the strata laws. Issues have in fact arisen within such gated communities between neighbors, resulting in costly litigations, he said. He is contending that litigation could be avoided if such communities had the requisite legislation with a comparative strata commission designed to resolve conflicts. Until legislation is passed, prospective purchasers need to be very disconcerting in their choices, ensuring that cohabitation between communities is possible, Champagne tweeted. Queen's Counsel Patrick Foster agrees that legislation is long overdue for gated communities to ensure proper maintenance of common structures and facilities. He pointed out that at this point, there was just reliance on an understanding between owners to pay for maintenance or some other agreement between owners, which he said is not as effective. What is needed is legislation similar to what exists for the strata owners to ensure full compliance, Foster added. For his part, Attorney at Law Courtney Williams says it is now glaring that urgent blueprint legislation is needed to regulate how gated communities function. This is the last piece of legislation required to streamline the entire real estate sector in Jamaica, Williams asserted. The examples of the many problems faced by homeowners in gated communities are mirrored and well known. The expectation that every single homeowner will be honorable and do the right thing to enhance or maintain the quality of the community and shared spaces is a disappointing pipe dream. Williams argued that now is the time for action. It is at this stage that the government of the day should intervene to bridge this yamming gap in the legislative landscape. The time has never been more apposite for the introduction and passing of this new piece of legislation, he stressed. Big reduction in deportations, but over 500 Jamaicans sent home in 2021. The number of Jamaicans who were deported to their homeland in 2021 was 501, a big decline from the 653 who were sent back in 2020. The reduction was a large part due to the 40.3% drop in the number of deportations from the United States last year. Overall, the number of Jamaicans sent home in 2021 was 23.3% lower when compared to 2020. The statistics are contained in the 2021 edition of the Economic and Social Survey Jamaica, a publication of the Planning Institute of Jamaica. According to the statistics, the overall decline in deportation in 2021 was in spite of increases in the number of people sent back from Canada, which was up to 60.6%, and the category called Other Countries, which was up to 28.6%. And despite falling off by over 40%, the United States is still the main country from which Jamaicans are deported, making up 56.1% of the total. The other countries category accounted for 28.7% of those returned, Canada 10.6%, while the remaining 4.6% came from England. Some 35.5% of those deported was from overstaying, illegal entry, re-entry, and 25.7% for the possession of drugs, the survey said. It also noted that overstaying, illegal entry, and re-entry were the main reason for the deportation from other countries at 68.8% and Canada at 60.4%. For the United States, it was involvement in criminal activities at 85.4%. This was similar to England, with 17 of the 23 persons, 73.9% returned for involvement in criminal activity other than overstaying, illegal entry, and re-entry. Maize accounted for 88% of those returned. In the meantime, 8 people, 6 male, were extradited from Jamaica, 5 to the USA, 2 to Canada, and 1 to England. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.